Hello, everyone, and welcome to Henry Kissinger Is Pokemon Going to Die Not a Threat?
Just a fact.
Your favorite leftist podcast on the web, featuring me, Matt, aka Stormzy Daniels.
And me. Hi, I'm Patrick, aka 3 Ben Shapiros in a trench coat.
I'm Sam, aka JRR Smokin'.
Ooh. And I'm Zach, aka Jared Kush.
Nice. That's really good.
Thank you to whoever edits this episode for removing the full minute of silence between Kush and Ner.
You gotta make him wait for it.
Every single time that we would try to break the silence.
It's like the funny legendary from How I Met Your Mother, the funny show.
Every time we try to break the silence, Zach would just do it again. We've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Kush!
It's fucking terrible.
It's like a Skyrim shout.
You all get blasted away from your computers.
Yeah, it's just Fussrow Kush.
Jared Kush! Ner.
It's like Black Bolt exploding his parents. Except it's saying the word Kush.
Ivanka, look, it's that good Kush.
And the best part is that the splat of his parents against the wall just read 420.
It's a pot leaf.
Oh yeah, it's just a straight pot leaf.
Can we put off this episode for as long as possible, please?
Yeah,
I mean, we're in it. This is the
episode.
We're in it.
We do it.
The only problem is,
the actual content.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really want to talk about any of that because it all sounds really bad.
Yeah, it's all bad.
But also, like, the thing
Y'all
is...
just want to dissociate for the next 45 minutes?
Do you ever just look at our list of topics and just sigh deeply?
Well, see, I've just been working overtime all week, so I caught, like, none of these things on the actual news.
Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty, like, wash and dry headlines. I feel like if you've seen one story about a mass shooting, you've kind of seen all of them. And that's kind of the case for, like, all of these, like, you know.
I mean, the best part about our topics list this week is that we had to specify different shootings by categorizing them because, like, we had one school shooting and one police shooting. Because, God forbid, we just have one shooting.
We could find other shootings, I'm sure, if we really tried. Or if
I'm sure we could
really
find
try.
a swamp. We could find a swamp shooting if we needed to.
Oh, God. Nobody wants to do this.
All right, let's talk about terrorism.
We all just have our fucking heads in our hands, like...
See, the thing about terrorism is that out of everyone who is currently on the show right now, the only person who could perform a terrorism is me.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Oh, God.
Even though Sam technically did one.
Huh?
The rest of you are white, and I have a parent that was born in East Africa.
Oh, that's where they invented terrorism.
Indeed.
Matt
like,
Hussein Trampampolian.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you just see...
Oh, God.
You just take a casual gander at my dad's passport, and you see Dar es Salaam as his place of birth, and you're like, wow, it sure makes sense that his kid's a terrorism.
Yeah, that figures.
I can't believe my child is a whole terrorism.
Yeah, just
for
the
those of you
terrorism.
Who might not know what we're talking about, the Austin bomber was, I mean, I don't want to say caught. He wasn't caught. He blew himself up.
But right before being apprehended, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, he was, like, surrounded by cops and then exploded. And
You make it sound like he passively exploded.
That's what I do when surrounded by cops.
His head just did that.
Yeah, it's like in Scanners.
Yeah,
yeah. He used explosion to inflict massive damage with the last of his health.
Yeah.
Cops got too close to him and he turned into dog food immediately.
Have you ever heard of Pokemon? It's like that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the title of our fucking show, Sam. Fuck you.
And so, yeah, after the fact, there was, like, a video that he recorded that came out. It was, like, his manifesto or whatever the fuck. And it also came out that he was aligned with a lot of, like, right-wing Christian groups.
I'm sure that's... I don't
weird.
know. I don't think that means anything.
No, it's definitely a coincidence, I think, for sure. That couldn't have had
probably
anything to
didn't know
do
he
with
was
Who
a
among us
member.
has not?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this podcast, I think, is basically a right-wing religious group.
Right.
In a manner of speaking.
Hey, can we talk about how the FBI's genius strategy for catching this guy before he got apprehended was, well, we've exhausted all of our options, so now we're asking him to contact us.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the FBI is that they're supposed to catch bad guys. I don't know if you were aware of that. They're typically supposed to catch people who blow up civilians, and they kind of dropped the ball on this one.
I mean, this guy was, I mean, they said he was probably like some kind of like criminal mastermind, like really experienced. I haven't really been following, but I assume he was probably like, what, ex-Russian secret agent, something like that.
No, he's just some
Putin
fucking
himself.
kid who was sad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, oh, the bomber's just like some little sad teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the FBI was too busy trying to murder more civil rights leaders.
Oh, yeah, they do that.
I doubt they would do something like that.
They love to do it.
Yeah, guess who just listened to the Fred Hampton Dollop episode last week? It's good to listen to.
A classic.
Yeah. Also, I guess while we're on this topic, a lot of people after this bombing, pulled out those dumb, stupid arguments about like, what about bomb control?
Oh, fuck.
And it's like, A, it's fucking illegal, you shit lip. and B, you
What,
can't.
are we gonna make it illegal to put bombs on people's porches?
And B, you can't build a fucking AK-47 in your garage. Like, they're two very different things, you know?
I mean, it won't stop me from trying.
I mean, you can 3D print a gun, kind
Yeah,
of. But
and then you'll accidentally shoot your dick clean off.
Yeah.
Problem
But anyway,
solved.
it's not like you can go to, like, the Acme store and just, like, buy, like, a fucking iron ball with a fuse attached to it,
Right.
and then just,
Wait,
like...
wait, you can't?
Not anymore. Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Wiley Obama. But yeah, no, like, the big thing was, like, after his confession video came out, despite the fact of, like, all his, like, linkings to, like, white supremacists and right Christian terrorist groups and, well, not terrorist groups, right-wing Christian groups that can be construed as terrorists.
Christian terrorism, I think Christian terrorism is an oxymoron.
The fact that he was, like, deliberately targeting prominent black families, all members of the same black church,
Right.
like, is not apparently political motivation for the purpose of spreading fear, which is literally all the fuck terrorism is.
Yeah, the thing that you gotta understand about terrorism is that terrorism is any violence that you think is, like, bad and you want to look especially bad, you just slap a terrorism label on it.
Now,
So if it's
I
like...
have a question here, and I don't know the answer to this question. I just want people's opinions on it. They're not acknowledging that this is terrorism, and we can all agree if the guy had been, like, a Muslim, they would be calling it terrorism immediately.
Yeah,
So
they'd be like, well, obviously this is, like, he has jihadi, like, whatever.
So here's my question:
they wouldn't...
if they did acknowledge this as terrorism, would it make a difference?
I mean, no, not really.
I feel like it's just it's getting mad at the hypocrisy of the whole situation.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just highlighting how arbitrary, like, terrorism is. Terrorism's what you want it to be. It's a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's like when, it's like, I guess it's like when, like, when a cop actually gets convicted for something and we're like, well, why didn't this guy get convicted for it? And
Yeah,
wait, no,
it's
I
just
just lost
kinda
my
like
train.
one of those like bare minimum things they could do that they just don't, because who cares anymore?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they talked about the Austin stuff last week, so we could, since we have given the update, we could probably move on to drug policy hell.
Wait, I just want to remind everybody of something real quick. Remember that time, the last time we had, I think it was a bomber, it may have been a shooter, but the police bomb squad blew the guy up with a robot on purpose?
Oh, I do remember
sounds
that.
familiar, but
I
I couldn't
don't
tell you
remember
which
that.
one that was.
What's sad is I don't remember which incident it was. I just remember that they, like, had the guy cornered, and they were like, alright, we're gonna send in a robot holding, again, like, a, like, big iron ball with a fuse on the end of it. And then, like, he was like, hey, hold this. And the guy was like, yeah, sure.
But
and
it's wearing lipstick and a dress, and he tried to kiss it, and it went off in his face. and then he turned his duck bill back around, and he said, "You realize this means war."
And then a piano fell on him, and then his teeth are keys.
Yeah.
Hey, remember how a piano literally falls on Charlie Sheen in the finale of 2.5 Men?
It does do
Right,
that.
And then it falls on Chuck Lorre, who also dies.
Yeah.
What a good show. I'm glad I've seen every episode of it. That's not true.
Yeah, I'm glad I put that reference into everyone's mind. I'm glad we've referenced multiple bad shows this week.
What shows?
Hey, it takes one to know one.
Men and this show that we're on right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry about this episode, everyone.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one, just so everybody knows.
Depressing
We don't have
episode.
a lot of good things.
There's nothing good.
We've got
Just so
some,
you know in advance.
Yeah, some positive stuff towards the end, but it's mostly going to be shout-outs because, that's just how it is.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Anyway, drugs.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, so drugs. This week, the Justice Department was told by Jeff Sessions that they should start pursuing the maximum possible sentences for drug criminals, including the death penalty for those states that allow it, which, as you can probably already guess, is fucking senselessly cruel and intentionally ignorant. If you look at the past decade, past century, past, couple millennia of drug policy, there's one thing that's very clear, and that's that punitive measures don't work. You really have to go rehabilitative with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because, it's not the street dealer selling pills to someone who's, the source of this problem. It's pharmaceutical executives who make billions of dollars off of peddling this shit out to poor communities across the country.
Yeah, you just gotta love those opiate dealers.
Just the
Yeah, they're
idea
great.
of the fucking death penalty for drug dealers is so just fucking medieval and ridiculous.
Yeah. And it really demonstrates, a total misunderstanding of what the fuck, the opioid crisis is, because that's ostensibly what this is in response to. It's
Right.
we have to execute your local weed dealer because that's what the
They're
opioid
picturing
epidemic
the
is.
opioid when they think opioid crisis. They're imagining I'm just picturing a political cartoon where there's a nice young white boy on his way to Christianity, and then there's this guy walking out of an alley in a trench coat, and he's like, "Hey kid, want some opioids?" And he's wearing a fedora that says the opioid crisis, and that's what they
Yeah.
think is actually literally happening.
And don't
Yeah.
forget that the dealer is not white.
Yeah, no,
well,
of course
he's
not.
he's like a being of pure shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's clearly a CIA agent wearing a person of color skin, a robe.
And of
Now
course,
that's
once
an
the child takes the drugs, he is also
I-
just mysteriously not white anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
This is your skin on drugs.
Well, no, the political cartoon, the little white boy is like, "No thanks, I'm on my way to Jesus," and then there's all the minorities walk up and they're like, "Sure, sounds great."
Yeah.
I'll pay
Yeah.
for it with my food stamp.
I think a lot
Yeah,
of this.
there's a homeless person labeled the needy, and they're holding some money that says your charity dollars or something.
No, it says your tax dollars.
Your tax
Your
Yeah,
dollars.
yeah.
dollars, yeah.
It doesn't actually
Well, they've
make
got
any
they've
sense.
got two giant sacks of money with dollar signs. One of them says your tax dollars, and then one of them says handouts.
Yeah.
It's the fucking Homer Simpson 50-foot tall and made entirely of gold.
Yeah. Also, the homeless person is driving a convertible in the alley.
Yeah. And then he gets hit by a big bird with some icicles.
He gets hit by Big Bird.
Yeah.
Hey,
by a big bird.
Is it cool if I talk about something completely whack that happened to me today?
Yeah,
you
Jesus
reminded me.
God.
Yeah, you reminded me when you were talking about the convertible driving down the alley. So, next to my work, there's a bike and footpath. So we're walking down it, and there's a street that it crosses, and we see what looks like a guy starting to do a K-turn. Until he starts driving right down this bike and foot trail at us, and we're like,
Good.
"Oh, okay." So we all start collectively shouting, "This isn't a road! This isn't a road! This isn't a road!" And the guy pulls up to us, and we're like, "Hey, this isn't a road!" And he's like, "Yeah, I know it's not a road." And I'm like, "Okay."
Well, there you
I
go
guess
then.
that's what we're doing. And
Well, this sounds
he's
like you were being unreasonable.
yeah, yeah. I heard you the first time.
I think
he's
that's
still
just what it's
fucking
like to be
doing it.
rich.
Anyway, he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get to the address of my building," and we're like, "Yeah, it's over there, but use the actual road." And he goes, "Okay, cool, great, thanks." And he floors it and fucking reverses for another 30 feet back to the road in reverse on this bike trail and then peels off like towards our work, and it's like
He was just trying to get directions.
Yeah, like I'm here to pick up Skyrim.
Now that's a reference.
Yeah, remember?
I do remember it. That's how I recognized that it was a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to circle back here. I just have one more thing I kind of want to say. Is that I think like a lot of the mentality on this issue comes from like couching it in language of like the war on drugs. It's that same thing that, Americans don't lose wars. It's the same reason that we've been fighting the quote unquote war on terror for, a decade and hasn't fucking done anything. It's the same reason that we stayed in Vietnam for at all. It's just like our country has like a really weird obsession with winning violently. Like, if you talk to these people about, like, rehabilitative justice, the thought has usually never even crossed their mind. They can't think about helping people. It always has to be hurting people, which, I don't know where that comes from, because I'm a dumbass, but I'm sure someone could figure it out.
Yeah, it's weird, because, like, you think, like, when people say things like the war on terror, the war on drugs, that, like, because these are just kind of, like, concepts, you think, like, oh, they must mean, like, war in a figurative sense. And no. No, we are not.
They super only understand it in fully militant terms.
Turns out the solution is actually to just have, like, tanks just going down the streets, and if anyone ever, like... If like, you ever just see, like, money changing hands, just assume that it's a drug deal and just obliterate them right then and there. That's what you should do.
It'll be like the first person in a multiplayer Halo match getting the tank, and just fucking run it careening down the center of the level, just blowing shit up for funsies.
I love gaming.
I did just have a terrible Hell World thought. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, always.
I think we're maybe 2 years out from the war on immigration being like a talking point.
Oh, don't do this.
Like,
Now,
I just thought those words and knew with certainty that they're gonna be headlines very soon.
I think you're absolutely right. I would be surprised if it took 2 years to get there.
I'm being charitable.
Speaking of immigration, we should probably bring up the budget deal that the good boy Democrats made.
Yeah,
where
they rolled on their bellies.
Oh yeah. Well, it sounds like there's no like the specifics aren't really out yet, but we've got no DACA, no funding for the ACA, and giving money to border security, giving more money to the military. So, like, all the fucking reasons that we put those Democrats in Congress they did it! Yay!
Woo!
Hey, I'm so fucking glad.
Hey, there's another bad Democrat vote that we didn't talk about this week.
What was that?
And it was the one about ending our military intervention in where was it?
Yemen.
Yeah, Yemen.
Yeah.
Cool. But because, alright, here's the fun part. So, I think 2 or 3 Republicans didn't show up, for the vote.
Yeah.
So the Democrats had the numbers to, like, get us out of, like, Yemen, essentially.
Well, that would require them to want to do that.
Right. And you know what? 10 Democrats voted, like, flipped for the Republicans and voted to, like, not do it.
Yeah,
that reminds me. I should probably mention. I was going to say I should probably mention, which would have been a great joke because I am about to talk about Joe Manchin. I give Joe Manchin a lot of shit for being a Democrat who might as well be a Republican. But I think that in doing that, I haven't been giving enough credit to Doug Jones. So I just want to formally induct Doug Jones to my Hall of Fame. Absolute piece of shit, fake, might as well be a Republican. Go fuck yourself, Doug Jones. I'm so glad that you are not a pedophile. It's so great that, oh my god.
It keeps me warm at night.
Literally, honestly, I was on 538, and they have a thing there that's like just tracking how often everybody votes for like Trump proposals. Mm-hmm. And Doug Jones actually is now worse than Joe Manchin. So congratulations, Joe.
Great.
You've done it. I do think that you also should be not a threat, just a fact.
Not a threat, just an opinion. Just one man's opinion.
It's just an opinion. And we are going to bleep out what I actually said.
At the Secret Service, don't read this.
Yeah, I think that you're both monsters, and credit where credit is due. Doug Jones, go fuck yourself.
Hey, I was trying to make a joke about Doug Jones, but I honestly could not remember his name.
Well, I mean, he's the third favorite Doug Jones.
Yeah, I remember the third favorite part, but not his name.
Well,
He's the third favorite
Just
something.
think of the better Doug Joneses, and you'll remember.
So what's up next? I mean,
Downers.
I know what's up next. I kind of just want to put it off as long as I can.
Downers.
All right.
Now,
Well-
finally, we're talking about some fucking downers this week.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up,
there was
Downers?
surprise, surprise! Another school shooting. This time in Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't actually have body counts for this one, which is a fucking
I'm
terrible
pretty sure.
thing
I'm
to have
pretty
to
sure
say.
it was just. I'm pretty sure only one person was killed.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, the girl who was killed because the shooter was, I believe he's being described by the New York Times as a lovesick young boy.
A lovesick
Oh,
young man.
good.
Yeah, he was spurned, right? Like, she
Yeah,
dumped him or
so
something.
I don't even know
She
if that
dumped
happened.
him. Poor
Like,
guy.
yeah. It's just...
I
It's
mean-
almost like there's a link between, like, toxic masculinity and this kind of violence, but that can't be right.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I
it's
saw
definitely
some
not that.
fucking. I saw some fucking bullshit on Facebook that was like. It was like a list of like all the gun restrictions in Maryland, and then it was like, but he still was able to do this, and the only thing that stopped him was a good guy with a gun, which is true. There was a person at the school, a member of the staff who was like trained in
Packing.
Yeah, what I read was that he had like SWAT experience or something. I don't know, but oops, post-recording correction. That was actually a police officer. I had read the term school resource officer, and I didn't know what that meant, so I assumed it was just some like staff job or something. My bad. It was because a person had a gun who was like trained to use it that it was stopped. But also, all of those restrictions are great, except the kid got the gun. He just took it from home because his dad just had a gun sitting around.
Right.
And
The
he didn't
whole-
have it locked up or,
The
wasn't
whole
taking proper
fucking
care.
point of all the gun control shit that I'm always whining about because I'm a triggered snowflake is, and this ties into the whole thing that people say, guns don't kill people, people kill people. This kid would not have killed this person if he hadn't had easy fucking access to a gun that was just right there. He wouldn't have done it.
Right.
He couldn't have
Like-
done it.
He couldn't have done it. When you're in, I mean, presumably he was just in a really fucked up emotional state, and he was like, oh, there's a gun right here. I might as well fucking do this. He shouldn't
Yeah,
have
and you know
fucking
what?
been
You know
able
what?
to do that.
It's, let's give, like, the tiniest inch here and say, like, yeah, maybe there's a chance that he would have tried to do something else that was stupid and violent. But you know what? This girl wouldn't be fucking dead.
Because guns are made to make it very easy to kill people.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, just because I feel like we have to touch on it, an element here of the same thing we talked about earlier with the bombings, where, like, this kid is getting really gently treated by media,
Yeah.
and there's no fucking way that would happen if he was a black kid. That just doesn't, it just,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really go into, like, the specifics of it when we were talking about the Austin bombings, but he got the same fucking softball Mad Lib that all of these white shooter, bomber criminals get, which is, like...
He was a quiet young man. Everyone's so surprised. He was such a sweet boy.
Which
Yeah,
everyone says about every criminal that, like, they know before they're a criminal. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I
it's-
have no fucking idea. Like, it's almost as if people don't go around, like, loudly announcing that they're gonna do crimes.
I mean, even when they do, that doesn't fucking, like, that doesn't do anything.
Right,
Like,
the
the-
FBI's
like the-
just like, hey, those YouTube comments could have been anything.
Yeah.
Right, because it was the Florida shooter. I
Yeah.
mean, just to name one example, who like had been previously reported.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Several
and they just,
times.
like, didn't do shit. They didn't follow up on it until after the shooting.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
See,
you
the
know,
thing about the FBI is that, like, them being competent is actually propaganda. Given to us by movies and television that have been funded by the Pentagon.
Well,
okay,
Matt,
but
I
I
don't
was
think-
watching.
I don't think
I
that's
was
fair.
watching Chuck though, and like the just they
the
were so
Gamergate
hot.
man.
Gamergate man was there, and he was mad. And I have to confess, that wasn't the FBI on the show, Chuck. But I'm going to pretend it was for this.
Wait, it wasn't? Who was it?
I want to say it was the NSA. I think Casey was with the NSA, and fuck, I can't remember the woman's name.
We could get friend of the show Mina on to talk about his favorite show in the world, Chuck.
Do you remember how there was an episode of Chuck where Chuck got tortured and all the like advertisements were like, "This week on Chuck gets tortured."
No, I do not.
I don't like to think
y'all
about that.
y'all watch Chuck?
No.
I watched one episode of Chuck and I was like, I could take or leave it, and then I never watched it again, and then they took it off Netflix,
I
and
watched
then Mina got
2
mad at me.
seasons of it, and I remember nothing about it except for the episode where he was tortured.
I mean, also, credit where credit is due. I do just want to say the FBI are very good at entrapping Islamic teenagers and throwing them in jail forever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah,
yeah,
they very much do that.
They've got that down to a science.
We love our cops,
The,
our law
the guys who
enforcement,
got,
we love our military, they're important.
The guys who got entrapped and arrested for the Fort Dix attack lived in my town and went to, I think, the other high school in my hometown. And there was a big article about how, like, yeah, basically, like, the FBI, or maybe it was the Department of Homeland Security, basically reached out to this dude that had a criminal record that they had, you know, powers of persuasion over, and basically were like, we can make life difficult for you, and had him entrap these 2 teenagers into leading a attack on a U.S. military base.
Cool.
So that they could arrest
Great.
them and pretend that they prevented a crime that they caused.
Great. Thanks.
Hey, that didn't have any jokes.
Hey, y'all want to dunk on J.K. Rowling for a bit?
Always.
Yeah, you
Oh.
want to take a break from talking about shootings?
So J.K. Rowling, is in deep shit politically for, like, the 4th time this calendar year.
I mean,
because...
only among people who give a shit.
Yeah.
Practically
Right, because-
speaking, she's not.
So let me see. I'm looking on Google right now, and apparently she's now attributing, this to having a, quote, middle-aged moment, which, like, sure. So the
Okay.
people were looking through her, hang on one second. People were looking through J.K. Rowling's likes because, I guess that's what people do.
They might have been looking through them, or maybe it was the thing where Twitter just like shows it to you. Could be either way.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I found the tweet that she liked, and it's pretty fucking bad, y'all.
It is bad.
It is a tweet by, Twitter user at Racy Bearhold, and I want to personally call them out because they fucking suck shit, which says, quote, I was shouted at by men at my first Labor Party meeting, aged 18, because I asked them to remove a page 3 calendar. I've been told to toughen up, be louder, stronger, independent. I've often not felt supported. Men in dresses get brocialist solidarity I never had. That's misogyny.
Go fuck yourself.
So, okay. Here's one thing that I will say to their credit. That fucking calendar should not have been up. That's gross.
Sure.
That's all I'll say for them.
Yeah.
The rest of it, fuck you.
I pause. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so now I'm not from the UK, so I'm not like 100% clear on this. This is based on memories of like my trip to England when I was like 12. But there's a newspaper. I want to say it's called The Sun.
It's the Sun.
The Sun.
And
Oh, I know about the Sun. They suck.
I don't know if it's like every week they do this or it's like a monthly. I don't know, but they have a thing.
It's every
that's like
Sunday, as far as I know.
every Sunday. Okay, the like page 3 girls. The 3rd page of the newspaper has like a girl with her titties out.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
This is just a normal thing that is accepted.
Remember how
Yeah.
Europe is like the center of civilization?
Yeah, it's progressive and doesn't have Nazis at all, despite that being where Nazis are from.
No Nazis here.
Citation needed. in
I
that one.
cannot see any.
Ah! Ah!
Uh,
But I mean, like, hey, the thing that really gets my goat about this tweet is that it's like, I know that the fundamental point of the tweet is that they don't see trans women as women, they just see them 100% fully linked with men.
mhm.
But, like, the idea that trans women were the people yelling at you in this meeting is, like, that's basically the equation she's trying to make.
Right.
Is that it's, like,
Right.
there's fundamentally no difference between, like, a Labor Party trans woman organizer and, like, gross men brocialists that absolutely exist.
Well, that's what you gotta do. Anytime there's someone who's to the left of you, you just assume that they're actually like a fake feminist, that they actually hate women, and, you know, that kind of just takes away any sort of credibility that they might have, because you just said it, and then it's said. Problem solved.
And also, like, the whole thing is, like, J.K. Rowling's, like, super pissed about the Labour Party essentially, like, getting rid of all the Blairites, but who the fuck likes Tony Blair? Like, he got the country into the Iraq War. Why is he a person who's looked upon fondly? Also, how is he the leader of the Labour
Iraq
Party?
War.
Well, I mean,
what the fuck did Labour mean?
Yeah, I mean, he got...
Tony Blair profited off the Iraq War.
Yeah, I mean, Blair got to where he was the same way that all the major Democrats in this country did, is by promising the bare minimum and delivering less to people who had no better alternative. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, and so he just, you know, he did
Thank you.
he did fuck all, but it was better than what the Tories were doing, so he kept winning elections.
Now that sounds...
Yeah.
That sounds an awful... That sounds kind of familiar.
I wish I could say the Justin Trudeau emoji out loud. like I could just speak that image into everyone's mind right now. You guys know what I'm talking about, but most people have not seen our Justin Trudeau emoji.
We'll have to post that image on the Tumblr with this episode or something, so people actually see it.
You can come see it in person if you join our Discord.
That's right, join the Discord. The link is somewhere.
It's on our Tumblr. It's on our Tumblr, on the sidebar. It's the Discord icon. I put it there last week.
The initiation process is you have to find.
So I just want to say, like, it's really, really weird, like, over the last, like, I want to say, like, year, 2 years, especially watching people become more and more disillusioned with J.K. Rowling because her politics are just so fucking bad and she can't shut up about them.
I mean, the best part is that you retroactively realize even more how bad the politics are in Harry Potter.
I'm laughing really hard because I'm reading this article about, is J.K. Rowling transphobic? And one of the tweets that they decided to include in the article is somebody quote retweeting the tweet that she liked and saying Wingardium transphobia.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but, like, Wingardium is a Latin root and phobia is a Greek root, so, like, why would you combine those two things?
Fucking
I'll
magic
kill you.
cop Matt
I'll
over
kill
here.
you.
Oh, dude, my friend has a Discord bot actually that has a new function where if you it's I think it's at JK Spicy. Okay, I found it. So this Discord bot, if you do ! Spicy JKR, it will give you a JK Rowling take. So this says, in an exclusive interview, J.K. Rowling disclosed that Nugent Potts is demisexual. Let's get another one. Rowling reveals Wilbert Slinkhart is bi.
Is it pulling these names out of its ass?
I think it probably uses, like, Harry Potter Wiki. Have I talked about Harry Potter Wiki and how it's the funniest fucking thing in the world, by the way?
No?
Wait, Harry Potter Wiki, like, as opposed to, like, Pottermore?
Yeah, Harry Potter Wiki specifically. So this is a depressing episode, so let's just take a little brief detour into my favorite website, Harry Potter Wiki. So you can go on Harry Potter Wiki and look up literally anything, and you can just get sort of the Harry Potter angle on it. Like, for example, toast is bread that has been toasted. Toast is a known flavor of Bertie Bott's Every Flavor beans and was served at breakfast time at Hogwarts. Toast appears in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the... It's like every appearance of Toast in the franchise.
Okay, but the thing is...
Literally every wiki is like that.
If it's untoasted, it's still toast. Like, that shape of bread is still toast.
Thanks, Mina.
Oh my god, we can't be fucking doing this. We can't be talking about Mina's takes on this podcast he doesn't listen to.
Well, now hold on.
But no, every wiki is totally like that.
Wouldn't it interest you to know that cat hair is hair from a cat?
What?
Thank you.
Cat hair appears in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, as well as Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4.
Wait, did you guys ever see that thing how on the Rocket Power wiki there used to be like articles just that are just like the Wikipedia article about like the Gulf War and shit like that, and then at the end it would be like the Gulf War is not mentioned at all in the Rocket Power series.
I love Wikipedia. I love wikis, I mean.
Like, the Homestar Runner wiki just has crimes committed by Strong Bad.
Dude, Homestar Runner wiki is fucking amazing. How it has like Literally
it's one of the, like every line.
It's like lowercase i's. Here's a list of all the times that a capital I has been lowercase.
Yeah, it's one of the wikis, much like the They Might Be Giants wiki, that is used by the creators of the actual thing to keep their own life straight.
Dude, They Might Be Giants wiki is really good.
Mean like
They Might Be Giants
like
wiki is like the number one. It's the best wiki on the web.
It probably is, besides Sonic Fanon wiki.
Yeah, no, Sonic Fanon wiki.
Fanon wikis are an entirely different animal. They're so good.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan
just for the
Infinity
record,
Goku, the hedgehog.
George R. R. Martin has literally said, like, on the record that he has, like, these elevated fans that he basically goes to, and he's like, do I have this canon right? And they're like, yeah, you're good, George.
That's
and
awesome.
he's like, okay,
Holy
thanks.
shit.
I mean, aren't the people who wrote the World of Ice and Fire, weren't they basically just fans that ran a news group?
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to talk about the other shooting yet?
Yeah,
I had a feeling.
We've been pushing this off for long enough.
Yeah, okay, so in Sacramento, a few days ago, 2 police officers shot a man standing in his grandmother's backyard 20 times. And yet that's not a mistake, that's 2 officers, 20 shots to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And their excuse is that they thought he was holding a gun. He might
Which
have
is
been
always
holding
their excuse.
a cell phone. Right, yeah, he definitely did not have a gun.
He was holding
that is
an iPhone.
confirmed. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the reason they were chasing this guy was they had gotten a call that someone was like going around breaking car windows in that neighborhood.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they were I guess patrolling, and they saw this guy who was holding, in their words,
Wait. You left out a crucial detail, which is that they identified him via chopper. So they
that's
got
true. There was a helicopter.
They got a tip that somebody was breaking car windows, and they're like, better deploy our fucking police helicopter.
They did in fact deploy a helicopter with like infrared camera.
Right, because that was how the footage got released, right?
Right. It was like a body heat thing.
Yeah.
To find a guy who had been breaking windows. So they see this guy who
again is standing in, I think it was his own backyard, and he lived with his grandma.
Maybe. But yeah, so I'm not sure about that. But anyway, he was holding, in their words, a toolbar, whatever that is. And so they assumed that he was using this toolbar, I guess, that he took from like Microsoft Word window or something to
It was the Yahoo toolbar.
he had the Yahoo toolbar from his browser, and he was using it to break open car windows because, and so they start chasing him, and he like ducked under the porch, I think, in his grandma's yard, and they saw that he had something in his hands, so they were like, come out, and he gets out, and then he kind of starts to run, but then he turns around, and they saw him. Now they say the official police statement that is super believable is that he was holding something in his hands and had it extended towards them, which we know for a fact what he was holding was a phone. So
No one holds a phone like that.
So here, the only like conceivable way that I could think that this is that he was like, "Hey, I'm recording you." Like,
but you
if he
wouldn't
was holding
hold
his
it
phone
out. You wouldn't hold it out to them.
He was actually just trying to take a selfie for Snapchat.
Also,
just being like,
I would
I'm
say,
about to die. What's up?
God, I would also say,
God, that's
the fact that when the police started coming for him, he ran away. I think it's very likely that he was afraid for his life, because he was like, oh, I'm a black guy. They're looking for someone. They've decided it's me. They're going to kill me. I have no choice but to escape from them.
And of course, everybody's like, well, it's a shame that he died, but you have to respect the police no matter what they ask of you, or you deserve to be summarily executed. Like,
so
every single time.
My point being, there's no way that this guy would be like, I know, I'll tell them that I'm recording what's happening, and the way that I'll do that is by taking the thing that I have in my hand and holding it out to them like a gun. Like, that's an invitation to get immediately shot dead. There's no way that he did that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But again, assuming like that their story has any truth to it, which it probably doesn't, this is the only conceivable scenario in which that would be like anything resembling reality.
Again,
Yeah.
so even if that is true, the
It's a
fact is
big
he had a
if.
phone, and they killed him for holding a phone.
Right.
And they shot
Is it like
they love to do it
20 fucking
20
shots.
times.
Is
Right.
it basically just a death penalty to have a black otter box in the States? Because
I mean,
it makes
yeah.
your phone look the
Well,
most
if
gun-like?
you're If you're a person of color, then yes.
Oh yes,
Right.
that's what I meant to clarify. If you're, because like imagine if you just had like a fucking BMO phone case, and then they tried to argue it was a gun.
Well, now
We thought it was a Game Boy.
I will say this did
We
happen.
thought he
at
was
night.
using knowledge.
This did happen at 9:00 at night, so it was dark. For whatever that's
Oh, it
worth.
was?
It was dark. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Well, that just makes he was holding something and we thought it was a gun even less like how'd they fucking tell that he was holding something black at night?
I mean, what could you hold? There's one thing you can hold, and it's a gun. There's nothing else you could be holding. Why would he hold anything that's not a gun?
Yeah, I think the really fucked up part about the story, besides all of it, that we already kind of screamed about, is that it was 20 shots.
20 shots!
Like, even assuming these cops were really afraid for their life, and they each shot that guy, that's 2. I don't...
Yeah.
Like, there was definitely a point where this guy was dead with bullets in him on the ground, and they were still shooting.
20 shots. That is
That just-
bang, bang, bang,
yeah.
bang, 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 bang. And then you know what else? They fucking handcuffed him after that.
Well, yeah,
Jesus.
they always do. They always do because they're like,
because that just reminds me of the Sammy Yateen shooting, which was a shooting in Toronto of a guy. He had a knife on a streetcar, and essentially it was basically ruled in the court that the first shot was justified and that the subsequent 17 shots were attempted murder.
oh,
Great. And you want to hear the punchline of this whole story?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
I love a good joke.
Paid administrative leave. Wow.
Yeah. Woo! Say
nothing like
it
a
again,
fucking
Bart.
paid vacation.
Nothing's
Pending
gonna fucking
use of
happen.
force
And those
investigation
cops-
to decide if maybe the 20 shots on a guy who had a phone was over the top. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, they feared for their lives.
I think we should
They were
ask the
so
police
scared.
union. We should ask the police union.
Where are all the fucking people who are crowing about like castle doctrine and whatever the fuck, saying like they should be like, oh, this guy got shot by police in his own home doing nothing wrong.
I mean,
for
Zach,
being mistaken for a criminal.
he-
Yeah,
He
where
had
are my
a toolbar.
libertarians at?
What
Where
they're
are my
saying
libertarians
is,
at?
what they're saying is, oh, he was black. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
just like you never saw the fucking NRA defending Philando Castile,
Right.
who
did-
literally told the cop he had a gun and that he was going to carefully take out the gun so he could disarm himself.
Yeah, out of curiosity, I don't know shit about guns. Like, how much is like the clip on a standard handgun?
It's usually like 6 or 8.
Okay, so that means like
You have to call it a magazine or gun people will get
wait,
mad.
Okay, fine, a magazine. Six or 8, you say, and they did a cumulative
Yeah.
20
I mean,
between two officers, which means someone reloaded.
They might be 10 bullet clips. It depends.
Okay,
I think.
alright.
I really need to correct the record on what you said about the NRA with Philando Castile. They actually did make a statement about him, which was that he also had marijuana. So
Oh, good.
Cool.
Oh, good.
Thanks, NRA.
Did that really fucking happen?
I don't know if it was an official NRA statement, but it was Dana Lash.
Nah.
Oh, of course it was Dana fucking Lash.
Oh, is that how you pronounce that? I've been
Lash.
pronouncing it Loesch.
I only
was
know.
too.
I only know because of
John
last
Oliver?
week tonight.
John
Yeah.
Oliver.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, John Oliver.
Thank you, John
Oi,
Oliver.
Gov.
Come on the show, John Oliver.
That segment was really good.
It was. I think
good
it's a
segment.
good show. I mean,
It
he
is a
does
good
some
show.
dumb shit.
Welcome
at
to
the
our
end,
John
usually.
Oliver fan cast. Last week, tonight, tomorrow.
Fuck you, John Oliver! That's the name of the podcast. That's the
Oh my
only
god, one of his
fuck!
name was Donald Trump!
that's the only John Oliver impression that I can do is him like banging on his desk while yelling "fuck you, whoever."
Yeah.
That was it was uncanny. It was a perfect impression.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I'm like, is John
Cut
here?
it.
Did we get him on?
Oh man,
John Oliver resigned.
great.
been replaced by HKIP. They do politics better than I do.
Disgraced host John Oliver resigns. It's just like John.
Keep those references coming. I get all of them. People love hearing references that they get.
They do.
I think that's
Yeah,
enough
well,
on that.
Ready Player One's the biggest
yeah.
movie in America.
We should probably move on. Before we get to questions, I'd just like to give a shout out to host of the show, Luna, who broke her leg. So everyone send out pause vibes for Luna's leg. Pray for Luna's leg. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and And also, pray for Luna, because breaking her leg means she can't be on girl pills for a little bit, which sucks major dong. So
I'm gonna send some socialism vibes from up here in
Yes.
Canada, where I don't have to pay for doctor's visits.
Home of socialism.
I thought socialism hated women, though.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Fuck.
God damn it.
yeah,
Shit.
the brocialists.
Yeah.
Do we have some shout-outs to do?
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
still
I
weird
got a
that we
shout out
call
for
them
you.
that.
Yeah, I
It
know.
is odd,
Yeah,
but
I feel
like
like
it
we
at
need to
this
change
point.
the name of that segment.
They're like fucking news briefs. Anyway, here's the first one.
Shout out to Donald Trump for saying he's gonna beat the shit out of Joe Biden.
Donald
Can
Trump.
they both just kill
Donald
each other?
Trump hospitalized after being punched in the chest 65 times.
Now,
See, Joe
context for this.
Biden is very much also a piece of shit, but
Yeah,
I would
fuck Joe Biden.
I would absolutely love to see him punch Donald Trump in the solar plexus.
Oh my god.
Like, just
Oh, yeah, that
directly
would
in the
rule.
solar plexus.
No, I mean fuck Joe Biden though, because he made that statement where he was like, people were like, "What are you gonna debate Donald Trump?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna debate him. If we were in high school, I would have beat the hell out of him." Like, fuck you, do it then. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, direct action. Anyway, also Joe Biden bad because he said that thing about how
But
how millennials don't have it so bad.
but no,
He did
no,
also,
because
like-
he eat ice cream. Cute
He did also massively
like ice cream,
fail
cute.
Anita Hill.
ice cream.
Him have bromance.
Cute
with
ice cream.
President Obama.
Have you seen Meme?
Have you seen it?
Have you? Answer me. Okay, you're off
Hey,
the
so
show.
anyone else want to see Donald Trump's dick?
No!
No!
Not particularly.
Well,
I
see,
want-
that's a real thing that could happen. We could just have Donald Trump dick pics leaked on the web.
We
I
really
want
could.
the pictures to be made public, but I never ever want to see them.
Okay,
leaked.
here's the
I-
thing about
do you
this.
think that Donald Trump? This is Donald Trump we're talking about. Do you really think that someone's going to leak something about Donald Trump?
You're right, that would never happen. But here's the thing. So the person who tweeted the thing that was like, oh, like, Stormy Daniels' lawyer, like, on
Stormzy.
MSNBC. Yeah, Stormzy Daniels. Her lawyer, on MSNBC says that it basically said in no small amount of terms, like, that they have dick pics or something. Came from that fucking True Facts Stated guy
Yeah.
who's like a bullshit con artist.
Yeah.
But everybody just ran with it because like they'll believe it. Like if you say like it's like how everybody believed that like Rogue White House Twitter account.
yeah.
Ugh. So bad.
The only good one
Like-
of those was the Rogue Betsy Ross one, obviously. But
No, okay.
anyway,
The pictures of his dick definitely exist.
yeah,
For sure.
I'm sure there's several on his phone. Now.
I don't believe whatever True Facts Stated said, but they are real for sure.
They're real and they're strong and they're my enemy.
Thank you. They're real and they're
So
hard.
now we have some good things to close out the show with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daniel
Does
Bryan has
anyone-
been medically cleared to return to wrestling. This is not about our show at all, but like host of the show Brooks wrote his fucking master's thesis about Daniel Bryan, so we figured it deserved a shout out.
I've been like teetering on the edge of getting into wrestling for a while, and I'll probably watch Daniel Bryan wrestle because if Brooks likes him, I'm sure he's good. I trust Brooks.
Yeah,
I
Brooks
still
only
need
likes
to read
good things.
Brooks's master thesis.
Yeah,
I
same.
have it bookmarked, but like academic writing scary.
Brooks tells me two confirmed things, which is that Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura are good. So presumably he's
Yeah.
also right about Daniel Bryan.
Hey, if any of you want to read host and enemy of the show's Brooks' master's thesis, it's called Daniel Bryan and the Negotiation of Kayfabe in Professional Wrestling.
It's a
and
good
you can
title.
find that somewhere. If you Google that exact phrase,
The
you
thing
will
about
find
Brooks is
what
that
you
I
see.
want just like a clip of him reading like the abstract of that, and then I just want to intercut it with him screaming the word pussy on Tiga.
Okay, I can I can imagine Brooks's thesis defense, and it's just kind of him nervously standing in front of a panel of very serious academics and going, wrestling is good, and I like the it, and thank you. I have IBS and I have to leave now.
Master's degree, you get one.
Yeah, you get one.
Hey!
Anyway.
And the last thing we wanted to talk about, like, just briefly, because it's barely a story yet. Essentially,
God, I hope it
game
becomes more of a story.
Oh, I hope so much. At the Game Developers Conference, there were essentially some like professional union organizers had been talking with some people in the games industry, and they were distributing pamphlets and running a panel on what like union bargaining could do for the games industry.
Please unionize game developers for the love of God.
Yeah.
They need it so bad.
They really do. They're super overworked. They're like pretty unhappy, a lot of them. And also, gamers are really entitled to all of their media consumption, and they should stop being that.
Just knock them down a peg. Because, like, the thing is, people are just like, well, like, unionized games would mean, like, you know, less expensive games, less games. And I'm like, all these things sound good. Do you want to know how many fucking unplayed items there are in my Steam library? There does not need to be more games. Before the show, before everyone else joined the voice call, me and Sam were just talking about how many Steam games everyone has. And it's
I
like
have 450.
Yeah, like, the number of Steam games you have divided by 20 is the number of games you functionally have. Because
you're absolutely right.
Like, that's basically it. So Sam has 22 games.
And they're all Undertale.
Yeah, they're all...
And the PS4 has no games. I saw something about the unionizing earlier that made me immediately depressed, which was like, you know that if the game developers successfully unionize, the very first thing that the publishers are going to do is leverage the toxicity of the gaming community against the striking developers.
Oh, honey.
They're probably also just going to fire the developers like they love to do. I mean, what was the team that EA destroyed that was like going to be working on like some single player Star Wars game, and they were just like, actually no, we'd rather do Battlefront instead.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Bethesda did that too to the team that made New Vegas.
Yeah, Obsidian.
Yeah.
Like, whatever happened with there was a strike of video game voice actors, and I know that
they got a lot of their negotiated increases.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
I remember it was a big deal when the like Life is Strange prequel sequel came out, that like the main character was voiced by a different person that was a scab, because the original
that's shitty.
The original actor was striking. Now,
that was Ashley Birch, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ashley Birch did still work on the game in some capacity, but not in a acting capacity. I think in some sort of
that's generally how those kind of unions work. In that she's in the union as a voice actor, not just as a person.
Right, yes, exactly. So she still worked on the game in, like, a producer capacity and was still involved with its development, which is, like, cool, but, she was obviously very hurt that she wasn't allowed to play the character.
Yeah.
I think she got to play it in, like, one bonus episode that came out after the strike, though.
Uh-huh.
See, the thing about strikes is, like, I was just reading, like, a big thread about it, and it was basically just talking about how there's a lot of movie sets and like TV sets that aren't unionized, but they match the union conditions because they know the workers won't tolerate it otherwise. And it's like, it's very much a rising tide lifts all boats situation.
Yeah. Also, anything that makes EA angry is good. Speaking of strikes, this is a little off topic, but I was watching you know Conan of Bryan, the talk show guy.
Yeah.
Conan the Bryan?
Conan the Bryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Conan Daniel Bryan has all these...
Conan the Generous?
Yeah, Conan the Generous has all these like segments on his YouTube channel, like Conan goes to an Irish step dance school or whatever.
Conan isn't no video games.
Conan pours a gallon of good milk down the sink.
That's a good one. But okay, I was just watching those the other night, and then one of them came up in the like suggested related videos, and it was like, Conan drives people around during the commuters' strike. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Cool.
Conan's a fucking scab.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a funny scab.
Well, just like God. A funny scab.
It is like a funny scab. God, I saw that and I was just like, oh, bye, Conan. Anyway, he's rich.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Like, there can't have been, like, much comedy value from that segment. Like, what was the fucking point?
He was probably driving people, and he was going like, ew, in a funny voice.
It's me, I'm Conan and tall.
He is tall.
What if it was that, but Cash Cab? I miss Cash Cab.
Who is Conan O'Brien and why is she so sad?
Should we do questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Yes.
Our first question comes in from Tumblr user Tremampoline. Says, who is Conan O'Brien, and why is she so sad?
The girl reading this.
Meme!
Our first question comes in from Tumblr user Futch Cassidy, who asks, what's the deal with billionaires?
Seinfeld voice.
Well, okay.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with billionaires and being fine with climate change? Do they just care about accumulation of money and not care about human lives?
I mean, that is correct.
Yep,
That's correct.
That's
the
pretty much
answer.
it. Yeah,
That's the
and they
answer,
also
gamers.
they also know they can afford to send themselves to Mars or whatever the fuck when the time comes, so they're not worried about it.
They could seal
Yeah.
themselves in the absolutely safe capsule and just be
I mean-
safe from all damage.
The thing about billionaires is that
Wow.
most of
Wish
them
there was a way
are-
to find all the geeks and gamers in this chat.
most billionaires are pretty old, so what the fuck do they care anyway?
Yeah.
I attended a climate change talk at my work, where the presenter, whose name escapes me at the moment, was talking about how basically the heads of all of the fossil fuel companies figured out about climate change before most of like the general population, like, and the rest of the scientific community did, because they found it out through like, you know, basic cost like benefit analysis about like, are we going to continue turning a profit with resource consumption the way that it's going? And so instead of telling the scientific community about it, they spent the next, I want to say like 5 years to a decade developing a campaign of misinformation, so that they could,
Yeah, that's what they fucking
fool
do for
the world.
everything. That's
Yeah.
what they do. Like the tobacco companies did that for tobacco. They did that with the electric car when that started to catch on. They were like, no, we got to make everyone ashamed of having an electric car.
I'm an
should we-
electric car.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
that.
can't go very fast.
Y'all watch Simpsons, the classic episodes from the
Yeah.
good when it
Yeah,
was
gamers.
good.
Our next question comes from Tumblr user Mike Dawson, who asks, how do we stop Brooks? I wish I fucking knew.
I don't think Brooks needs to be stopped. I love his takes. Except that he thinks Late Registration is the worst Kanye West album, which is...
We can't fucking talk about Kanye bracket on here.
Alright, fine.
We're all gonna, like, murder each other.
Speaking of Brooks,
Our next question comes from enemy of the show and also host of it, Sirius Jones, who asks, y'all do
Which
any
is Brooks,
impressions?
by the way.
Yeah, like,
For
y'all
people who don't
this.
know Brooks's Tumblr URL.
Even though he says it every episode.
Yeah.
Whatever, nobody listens that far into the episodes.
Yeah, okay. He asks, y'all do any impressions? We can.
you could try.
Y'all just
Well, I
want to
mean,
go
I
around?
proved that I can do a perfect John Oliver one.
Yeah, Sam's already
I think-
answered the question.
I think
But
my
that's-
Alex Jones is pretty alright too. I'm not gonna
Okay.
do it, but
I could break out another Brooks.
Yes, please,
Hey-
please, hit me up.
Hey everybody, Tumblr user Sirius Jones here. I love wrestling, and I just got my Wawa Hoagie, and I'm thinking about Stannis Baratheon, and I'm a little emotional, and I have to go poop now.
and I'm eating a Lunchables snack quackos or whatever.
I'm eating a Lunchables, cause I'm a Lunchable boy.
Hey, this is Brooks, and that feel when no GF, and that's all I got. I'm not good at impressions.
I'm Brooks and Davos is bad.
Nice.
I put Pop-Tarts in the freezer.
I'm gonna go to Tim Hortons.
I can't let Stannis down!
Stannis is my dad!
I love Stannis Baratheon!
Lysa Arryn come.
Y'all hear about Daniel Bryan coming back?
I feel like if Brooks is on next week, that's actually all he's going to talk about.
You know what's
He for
funny is
sure is.
we were reading this question before, and I was doing that Jordan Peterson voice, but now I've like lost all confidence to do any voices because I don't I don't want people to think that I think that they're good.
Yeah.
Give me something sexist to say as Jordan Peterson. I'll do my best.
I don't want that clip to be isolated and used against me later.
That's fair. Jordan Peterson quotes.
Oh, so read his quote about Muslims. About why leftists support Muslims.
Not a statement of support, just a quote, but...
Feminists support the rights of Muslims because... Oh, shit, I lost
it. I got it.
Kermit-ier.
I'm not doing it Kermit-y enough.
Yeah, you gotta Kermit it up. You gotta be like, hello, Jordan Peterson here.
Feminists support the rights of Muslims because of their unconscious wish for brutal male domination.
Feminists support the rights of Muslims because...
Now, if I want to do it full Kermit, that would be... Feminists support the rights of Muslims because of their unconscious wish for brutal male domination.
That got a little Marvin the Martian-y.
Can we just, talk about how bad, just that take gives me,
That was one of those takes where I was reading it, but I wasn't... I didn't know what he said. If you asked me what I just read, I wouldn't remember.
I was hearing it, but I was, blacking out and not processing it. Yeah. I have no idea what the substance of it was.
Eyes turned completely black.
Yeah.
the fucking Darth Kermit.
Jordan Peterson is Darth Kermit!
Oh my god! So, the regular Kermit is like, boy, I sure do love being friends with Muslims. And then Darth Kermit, aka Jordan Peterson, is like...
the only reason that you really feel like you can be friends with Muslims is because you've been cucked by the liberal media, actually.
I just gotta say that I hate this.
Yeah, this fucking sucks.
I already don't like to think about Jordan Peterson.
Oh, God. You guys want to move on to more questions?
Yeah.
Anonymous asks, how do I deal with a friend whose only big flaw is still being a Hitalia fan in the year of our Lord 2018? How can I keep the friendship after telling her that her passion for almost yaoi of weebified fascist countries makes me lose my faith on a god that lets that happen to the world?
All I can say to this is that you're right. Hitalia is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I think the episodes are 5 minutes long, and I couldn't even get... I think I stopped after about 30 seconds of it. The one time that I tried to watch it.
So are we assuming that our listeners know what Axis Powers Hitalia is?
I mean, it's described here as an almost yaoi of weebified fascist countries, so that is it.
Yeah, that pretty much does hit the nail on the head.
It's a bunch of countries in the form of yaoi boys in a room together, and then people draw them having sex with each other.
Mm-hmm. One time when I was in college, I got blackout drunk and then staggered back to campus. And this weeaboo girl who lived on my floor invited us me and my roommate into her dorm room and put on an anime that was, it was World War II battleships personified as
as little girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What the fuck is that called? Sky Angels or something?
I don't want to know what it's
Strike
called.
Witches? Is it Strike Witches?
It's Strike Witches!
Dude, I have a fucking bootleg Strike Witches DVD that came with a bootleg Nichijou DVD that I bought by accident, not realizing it was a bootleg. And it's just like a sort of evil presence in my home that I don't know what to do about it.
Oh, it's like that one CD that I found in my room that I could never explain, and then I never found an explanation for. That's just a person just making a bunch of mouth sounds.
Well, that's actually Neil Cicierega's album Mouth Sounds.
It's not, though. It's just someone doing poetry about peanut butter. It's very strange.
Oh, dude, I fucking remember that. Oh my god, that's a blast from the past. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
I still don't know what the fuck that was.
That's probably you. Anyway, to answer your question,
keep telling them it's bad.
If you've already told them it's bad, then there's something wrong with them, and just try not to think about it.
Also, ask them not to mention it around you.
That is a good idea. Just tell them, please don't talk to me about Hitalia.
There's a bigger question here, which is what Hitalia content is this person consuming in 2018?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
because that's 5, 6, 7 years old now, I think. At least really that's how long ago it was that I remember people talking about it. Yeah, what Hitalia content are you consuming in 2018, the year of Luigi?
It's been the year of Luigi every year since
Have we mentioned Luigi's
dick?
Yeah,
No, we
quick
can't.
shout out for Luigi's dick, which is now canon.
Concern
Luigi's dick is
Luigi
real.
hangs dong.
Confirmed for 3.5 inches flaccid.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, next question. Look up the look up the renders for Mario.
Well, I'll tell you this. All you have to
Tennis
do is Google
Aces.
the name Luigi, and it'll come up immediately. 'Cause
Yeah,
that is
that's
the
also
top
true.
result for Luigi right now.
Yep.
If-
I love the
You
internet.
know what? I'll tell you this though. If you're listening to this, you already knew about that.
Sam, can I just say, no, it's not.
Oh,
I
really?
Googled
It's
it.
gone.
It's for sure not my top result.
Yeah, it's in Sam's top results because they're tailored to him.
Oh no, it's actually gone. No, there was
Sam just outed himself as a Luigi dick fetishist.
Oh, it must. Okay, let me clarify.
Anyway,
it was the Google News results that were.
Question. Our next question comes to us from Anonymous again, who asks, "Hey, hookup to good. If
Great.
you were a teacher, which thought crime you've committed would result in you losing your job? Because that's a thing that can happen in this country now. So we gotta think about it.
I know exactly what mine is.
Is it running
Is
this
it
podcast?
being on this podcast?
Is
No,
it thinking
it's-
about Luigi's dong?
Oh
No,
wait!
it's
Holy
a-
shit! Is it making a petition about killing the president on your blog?
No, because I
No,
didn't
that's a
do
real
that.
crime.
I didn't make a petition. I made a post that was a joke about making a petition. Okay. But that is my answer. Is that thing?
See, the thing is, I already work for the government right now, and somehow them doing a security background check, which absolutely would have yielded this podcast, didn't red flag me. So apparently I'm good with the Canadian government.
Yeah, because they don't give a fuck about Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Fuck you, Henry
Yeah.
Kissinger. Man, is it gonna be so fucking good when he dies?
gonna
No,
be pretty
because I
cool.
will have to figure out what to do with this podcast.
We'll keep going. We might
we're
change
literally,
it up.
no,
but-
we don't even need to change the name.
There you go.
Yeah, this
Alright.
podcast name is Eternal. It's a state of mind.
It's a state of mind, it's a state of being, not a threat.
It's
Henry
not a threat.
Kissinger is Pokemon going to a state of... Alright, that didn't work, sorry. Bye. Zach retired.
All right, let's start the episode over.
Roll it back.
All right. Are we?
That's
are we
it.
Done?
We're done.
All right.
Do we do Lightbringers?
Y'all heard about Carly Rae Jepsen?
I have something that's something that I'm willing to give a shout out to.
All right.
Yeah?
Okay, so there's this musician who goes by the name DRYNX, DRYNX, and
Mhm.
I finally got around to listening to his 2017 album Horse Matrix, and it's
Good
so
That's a
title.
fucking
good fucking album title.
It is so good, and it's really weird because it's like this weird sort of like calypso influenced like synth pop, but it's also kind of like comedic. Like there's I don't want to put you off, but I will say there is a song called Brown Wine that's a parody of Red Wine, but it's about drinking poo poo, and
Oh.
it's like it's so dumb, but I was just like laughing out loud like throughout the entire album because like everything in it was like just catching me off guard the whole time. It's a fucking good album. So there you go.
I can't believe that you literally just mentioned a song about drinking Jenkum on our podcast.
Now, I was listening to it and I was like rolling my eyes at first, but then like every so often like a line would hit me that was just like actually legitimately funny. I don't know what to tell you.
I actually do have a thing.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
What is
Yeah,
it?
my big Lightbringer, my thing that's made me happy lately has been listening to the podcast Punch Up the Jam.
Eddie
It's a
already
good
did this
podcast.
one. Can't
That's
have
fine. That's fine. Eddie did that as a light bringer, but it is fucking good. I've only listened to one episode, but it's really good.
My Lightbringer
Yeah, and I was also
specifically
thinking
the
about it.
Specifically the episode that's released today. Fuck you, Eddie.
it. Yeah! It was so
Nice.
fucking good.
I'll have to listen to that after this.
They do Mambo number 5, and it's fucking incredible.
Hell yes.
It's an experience.
Oh my god, I'm
trumpet!
so excited to hear this.
Oh,
Okay.
on
Trumpet.
the topic of
trumpet.
Lightbringers, I wrote one of our Lightbringer posts for our Patreons on patreon.com/HKIPGTD about my favorite 12 seconds of music ever. So if you want to read that, you can go check it out.
Yeah,
over there.
I listened to that song. It was actually pretty nice.
It's good.
It is good. I'd never heard of it before, but it was good.
Yeah, I guess I also have a Lightbringer in that I've been playing Night in the Woods, and it's really, really good.
I need to
and
play
it's,
that.
It's
really
like
good.
it's like I think this is really starting to become like the genre of games that I enjoy the most, which is like interactive but largely narrative.
Mhm.
Ruminations on
Like,
capitalism.
Walking simulators.
Yeah, like I would not go so far as to call Night in the Woods a walking simulator, but I
don't know
fucking
anything about
walking simulators. You don't know anything about Night in the Woods?
Nope. Because I know that I'm gonna play it at some point, and I know that I'm gonna love it. So I want to like keep myself in the dark about it for as long as I can. You know.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. It's all I'll say about it then for the people who aren't familiar with it is that it's a 2D, I guess you would call it an adventure game kind of, where your character is a cat and everyone else in the world is a like cartoon animal. And basically your character has just come back from dropping out of college. And it's just kind of about that.
Extreme mood.
Trying to
Yeah.
yiff. There's yiffing, I imagine, probably.
There's no yiffing. However, there is smashing cars with a baseball bat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's like explicitly anti-capitalist, which I fucking love.
That is very good.
and-
I've seen some very good tweets from the person who made the game, which is another reason that I know that game is like right up my alley, is because the person who made it has good tweets.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but this game has like the most like insanely like perfect pro-union little like vignette that I've ever seen in any media.
That's cool.
like I really don't want to spoil it, but it's fucking fantastic, and it's about kicking the shit out of a boss. So
You kind of ruined my momentum, but I'm gonna ask. Can I make a joke about something I said a minute ago?
yes,
Yeah. The person who made Night in the Woods has a really good Twitter, which is how I know that I like the game. It's kind of like how Minecraft is the best game ever made because Notch's Twitter is so good.
Well, the episode's done, so
All right.
this has been Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to
Hold
Die.
on.
Not a threat.
Hold on. Jesus.
not a threat, not the end either.
Not every fucking time. Patreon.
We got it.
Yeah, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/HKIPGTD. $1 will get you any bonus content like our Lightbringers that we've been doing, both written and we will be having audio ones. I'm trying to get people together to do a Game of Thrones one. I think Patrick and Zach are in for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll-
I'm always happy to talk about A Song of Ice.
Oh
and
my god, I said
Fire.
Game of Thrones, didn't I? Holy shit.
Yeah.
You did it. Oh my god, that is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. $5 gets
It's okay.
you...
Brooks has literally done the same thing.
$5 gets you a special role in our Discord and shoutouts, such as shoutouts to Alex, the Wrecking Ball, Shoup, Nick Jagged, Nick Petazzoni, Evan, Lola Gaines, Daily Garfield, Brett Houts, Stephanie Ruff, Ollie Anders, Smoke Weed, and Ellen Nordhog.
I was trying so hard to sync up with you and say smoke weed at the exact same time.
Well, you failed.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna stick that landing, but God, I wanted it.
Yeah, so thank you to all of you wonderful people. And then $10 gets you an even more special Discord role that lets you listen into our podcast live, as 0 people are right now. Because a certain someone forgot their fucking headphones, so whatever. I'm not even mad. It's whatever.
See, the thing is that the recording was a mess today, and we're cutting like 20 minutes from this episode. So that's a lot.
Yeah,
of,
we
that's
are.
a lot of content that they're not getting.
That's right.
We're really gonna
Yeah.
punch up this episode.
It's the same episode, but we put air horns over it.
Listen to this.
Yeah, you're listening to Evil Men at the beginning. It's
It'd be really good if Evil Men had air horns, though.
well, we always fade it out so you don't hear the part that has air horns.
That's fair.
Yeah. While we're on the topic, thank you, the Taxpayers, for letting us use your song "Evil Men."
We still
Yes.
can't believe that you said yes.
Yeah, I know. It's
We hope you're not
ridiculous.
regretting it. Please don't listen
Yeah.
to this.
Don't worry, I'll edit out the that I made against Joe Manchin today. Tumblr.com, hkipgt.tumblr.com, twitter.com/hkipgtd, facebook.com/hkipgtd, discord.com/hkipgtd is not a link that will work, but we do have a Discord.
The link is on our Tumblr. And also
Yeah.
on noisespace.xyz.
The secret's inside.
Sorry, noisespace.xyz.
Wow.
How dare you?
I can't believe that. Wait, I thought the Canadians just did that on their own. What's happening right now? Do you say Z?
I did just for that, because saying XYZ is how it's said in the alphabet song, because we use the same alphabet song as you. So if I
Oh,
ever
that's
say
really
if I ever say
confusing.
those letters in sequence, I will say Z.
Huh.
Wait,
Huh.
So
I didn't know
you-
that.
I never knew
that's
that.
really
But, like,
stupid, Matt.
That is
Zed-
very.
Zed
That's
move-
ridiculous. That
Z
makes
moves
no
in
sense.
Pokemon absolutely called Z moves.
Well, no, but
No, but
Doesn't matter.
but
Pokemon's
I
bad
love you
anyway.
and respect
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
thanks.
Wait,
plug
we gotta
our shit.
we gotta promote social medias.
I'm Matt. Don't look at my web presence.
I'm Patrick. You can find me on Twitter at PG1497 or at Tumblr at Taking Turns at Random.
I'm Sam. I'm Positive Stress on Twitter and Positive-Stress on Tumblr.
I'm Zach. I'm Cataquax on Twitter and Nightzoned on Tumblr.
I feel conflicted about doing these plugs at the end because I feel like we've done it enough times, and it's also
Yeah, can we
linked
just
on the
cut
episode.
those? I don't need them.
But
We don't need them.
Yeah.
but
alright.
the one thing is, I do think that when I listen to podcasts with people on them, especially with as many people as this, it's really hard to keep track of like attaching voices to names. So I feel like, I don't know. Hey, if people you know what? I'm just gonna put this out right now. If people have opinions on this, feel free to let us know because we may
Yeah.
Straw
cut
poll.
the stuff at the end
Yell at us on Twitter, each of us individually.
at
Please.
twitter.com/HKIPGTD or on Discord.
All right.
That's it.
So we were wrapping this up because your boy has to hit the Peepus room.
I have to go read the Game of Thrones books.
This bitch needs to work. This bitch needs to work 11 hours straight tomorrow.
I have the books that have like the Night King's face on them, and it says based on the hit HBO series.
Oh,
Does it
God.
actually say
Wait,
that?
No, it doesn't.
Wait. Isn't there like a version of a Game of Thrones that has like the shitty TV White Walker on it though?
Yeah,
Yes.
the Night King. That's what I was talking about.
King
but it
Benjamin.
doesn't. It doesn't say based
it's,
on
it's
the.
not the Night King. It's the one with the butthole mouth.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Memento Pokemori.
Memento Pokemori.
Memento Pokemori.
Beautiful boo-boo is filling my mind. Could take a siesta, but I need more brown wine. When you have sadness, it makes you feel fine. I could travel the world just to find my brown horse. The brown wine makes me feel good now. Boo-boo makes me feel like brown wine. Brown, boo-boo wine. Beautiful boo-boo is filling my mind. Could take a siesta, but I need more brown wine. When you have sadness, it makes you feel fine. I could travel the world just to find my brown horse wine. Brown, boo-boo wine. Brown, boo-boo wine.
Ner.